Contrary to popular belief, there is nothing in the law, nothing in the Constitution that requires FBI background checks for appointees by the president, for anybody in the White House at all, not even for the president himself. You would think that, based upon everything that we're hearing through corporate media, everything we're hearing from far too many senators, that this is like, oh my gosh, this is such a horrible, awful, illegal thing. No, it's not. Okay, they want you to believe that, but it's not. The only people that are required to get FBI background checks are members of certain law enforcement agencies. Otherwise, it's the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Administration that does background checks after somebody is hired for a role for them to be able to get top secret clearance. Security clearances have to go through that type of background check. FBI is not involved. And I'm all in favor of that. Look, that is part of the rules, and it's legitimate. It makes sense. Okay, because those people, that's what they do. They're looking for threats. What the FBI is going to be looking for is dirt. That's why you have Democrats and rhinos, far too many of them, coming out and saying, well, I'm not comfortable with voting for Trump's nominees if they don't go through an FBI background check. Look, that is the Senate flexing their muscles. That is the narcissists in the Senate pretending like this is like something like, oh my gosh, this is just so crazy. No, it's not. They're not looking for, they don't really think that Tulsi Gabbard is a national security threat. They don't really think that Pete Hegseth is going to be giving nuclear codes to North Korea, okay? What they want is to subvert the Trump administration. And that does include a whole lot of rhinos out there that are trying to prevent Agenda 47 from being fulfilled. So they're going to hide behind the FBI background checks and say, well, we need the FBI background checks in order to do this. What they're really looking for is the dirt. They don't care. They don't think that Pete Hegseth is going to do something, is going to be a traitor. They want to find dirt so that they can expose him as being, being involved with some sexual misconduct with, of course, no charges. But hey, if they can get the FBI to stir up some dirt for them, stir up some dirt against Robert F. Kennedy Jr. so that they can keep him from fulfilling his role, from making America healthy again, because by golly, just about every senator, the vast majority of them, they are fully fed and just they are in love with big pharma and big food. I mean, their campaigns, their cronies, their relatives, they all have their hands out to big pharma and big food. And well, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he sure does put a potential dampening effect on their personal profits. That's it. That's all they want to do. That's why it bugs me. When you start seeing, especially, look, there are certain people that just hate Trump, okay? And then you could count most of the Democrats for that, and you can even count a lot of the Republicans for that. But the ones that are out there that are sort of, they seem to be in favor of Trump, or at least publicly they are, but then they're like, well, but we should get the FBI background checks in place. We should go, this is part of our tradition in the Senate. Well, those guys, those are the ones that you should really be concerned about. According to Mike Engelman, a real hickory on X, he says, more Senate Republicans other than the Gang of Four, McConnell, Collins, Murkowski, and Thune, are now openly speaking out against confirmation of Trump nominees without a lengthy process and FBI background checks. Maybe it's the rhinos who need to be investigated. Traitors. It is true that these people, many of them, not all of them, some of them, again, there are certain ones out there that are they just hate Trump. That doesn't matter to them at all. But there are some that are doing it for self-protection. They really want to try to find a way to stop certain Trump appointees from ever seeing the light of day. And I would say that right up there, the people that you notice are the ones they're going after, right? They're going after Tulsi Gabbard hard, saying she's a Russian agent. Tammy Duckworth and Adam Schiff out there slandering Tulsi Gabbard as a Russian agent. She can't be trusted. Well, she's going to be in charge of intelligence, and we know that the senators love access to the intelligence industrial complex and the vast amounts of money that it's able to make for them. Who else? Pete Hegseth. Could it be that that this man who's adamantly opposed to certain military actions that are that are currently in play during the Biden administration? Could it be that Pete Hegseth is going to be helping to cut off the outstretched arms of these senators that are reaching into the military-industrial complex? Oh, I'd say so. And of course, then RFK Jr., well, duh, Big Pharma and Big Food, they own most senators. So it makes sense for them to want this. But they shouldn't get it. Trump needs to stick to his guns on this. The moment that he allows the deep state to start weaving their tentacles into his appointees, that's the moment when we're going to start seeing situations such as what we saw with General Michael Flynn. Okay, General Michael Flynn should have been in the last Trump administration, but thanks to Mike Pence and the FBI, they stopped that. We can't let that happen again. Trump has an opportunity here to get his people through, and Republicans in the Senate need to get in line. Again, if they say it's because they're fearful for national security, I have to stress that to get security clearance, all these people, after they're hired, after they're confirmed by the Senate, they still have to go through a background check. It just won't be the FBI that's digging through dirt and looking for ways to smear these people. It will be an organization that their job is to make sure that there's no national security threats. That should be enough for every single senator out there, at least every Republican senator. And if they tell you otherwise, they're lying. Be sure to follow my work everywhere that I work by going to jdrucker.com/find, F-I-N-D, jdrucker.com/find. You'll find my socials, my shows, my Substacks, the works.